It may not be the first state that comes to mind, but California is definitely in the mix when it comes to sprint car talent. And while Brad Sweet and Carson Macedo are Golden State racers who've taken their talents to the next level, there are plenty more waiting in the wings that can leave an outlaw feeling like an outcast. For the first time since 2019, the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series is back on the left coast as the 1/3 mile Thunderbowl Raceway, Tulare, California, hosts the greatest show on dirt. I'm Dave Reeve. Don't take my word for it. Just look at the Central Valley Coast crowd here. More than interested to see how their hometown heroes stack up against the best in the business. And that includes one of our very own, a California native himself, with what's happened so far.
I'm Chase Rodman, and this is the fastest moments in motorsports. There were 32 cars checked in here tonight at Tulare's Thunderbowl Raceway, and at the end of qualifying, it was Brad Sweet, the three-time defending series champion, quickest out of everybody else. After that, he went on to win his heat race to start out the night on a great foot. After that, heat race number 2 is Dominic Scelzi grabbing the win, but at the beginning, a rocky start for Craig Kinzer. He got sideways, and in turn, it ended up with Corey Day flipping over, doing a front flip, collecting Donnie shots, and a couple of other drivers. Heat race number 3, that's where we saw Jacob Allen get his 5th heat race victory of the season here with the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series. Heat race number 4, Dominic Scelzi grabbed the win there, so the Scelzi brothers having a good start to their night here at the Thunderbowl. Then we moved on to the dash, where Spencer Baston, who led the first 6 laps of last night's feature event, he went on and grabbed the win there in the dash. Following that, it was the last chance showdown, and what a stacked lineup there in the LCS. Sheldon Hodenshield got the win. Donnie Schatz was second. Logan Short third. 3 full-time Outlaws there in the last chance showdown. But now we're getting ready for tonight's 35-lap feature event from Tulare's Thunderbowl Raceway.
Thank you, Chase. So between Sweet and the Scelzis, there is definitely some home cooking going on tonight. And we haven't even mentioned, until now, another California driver in the field able to find time during an Arizona NASCAR weekend to come home for a little California lovin'. We call him Champ.
I knew that 2013 Trophy Cup that I ran, I was just getting ready to go into Cup, so I knew that was probably going to be my last time running here for a long time. And so it was neat to win that. And then, with Hendrick Motorsports kind of allowing me to run some Friday and Saturday night shows. And the dirt stuff, it opened up, Tulare for me. It's not too far. We're out here on the West Coast for NASCAR, so glad to be back. Like I said, I love this place. The atmosphere here is always really good. The Central California fans are always pretty rowdy. So, we'll see if we can put on a show.
And with that, the stage is set. From here, the voice of the World of Outlaws, John Gibson, has the call of the greatest show on dirt in California.
Caution lights out. Spencer Baston and Corey Eliason from row 1. Dominic Scelzi and Giovanni Scelzi in row 2. Brad Sweet and Kyle Larson in row 3. Jacob Allen and Colby Copeland in row 4. David Gravel and Tyler Courtney in row 5. Then James McFadden, Carson Macedo, Mitchell Jacinto, Rico Abreu, Brock Zierfoss, Austin McCarl, Shane Golobic, Craig Kinzer, Tanner Carrick, Sheldon Hodenshield, Donnie Schatz, Logan Schuhart, Tanner Thorson, and Noah Gass. 35 laps of green flag action ahead.
Baston and Eliason side by side. They'll inch up to that white chalk line in turn number 4. Easing into the methanol. They get on it, and the green is in the air.
Side by side down the front stretch. Spencer Baston down low, leading, and Corey Eliason looking for a run on the top of the speedway. Eliason noses up, now takes a peek to the inside in 3 and 4.
They're side by side off of turn number 4. Battle for the lead. Give to Spencer Baston. He'll lead lap number 1 with the Scelzi brothers right behind Corey Eliason.
Spencer Baston leading, and Corey Eliason second. Dominic Scelzi in third. Giovanni Scelzi in fourth. And Kyle Larson running fifth. Brad Sweet in sixth. Colby Copeland in seventh. California drivers dominating the front portion of the field here tonight.
David Gravel got a little bit sideways mid-pack and lost a couple of positions. We're keeping an eye on him as Sheldon Hodenshield is already making progress from the rear.
The one non-Californian running in the top 7. The man out in front of the field, Spencer Baston, with the race lead. He'll make it down the back straightaway toward turns 3 and 4, and already he can see slower cars in front of him at the end of the straightaways.
Sheldon Hodenshield from 21st to 12th already in car number 17. He is definitely making moves.
Sheldon Hodenshield now coming after points leader David Gravel. A wheel stand out of turn number 4 for Sheldon as he works his way into that first corner. Still manages to get by David Gravel.
Man, it's been a tough start to this race for David Gravel. He's trying to gather a rhythm right now in car number 2 after he lost a couple more positions.
Dominic Scelzi low in 1 and 2, coming after second place Corey Eliason. Scelzi side by side with the Racing 26. They work through turns 3 and 4. Dominic Scelzi now up to second, and younger brother Giovanni trying to follow him by the 26.
Corey Eliason right in the middle of that Scelzi sandwich, and now Gio to the inside of Eliason. He'll drag race with him down the back straightaway. Eliason shuts the door.
Corey Eliason still third. Giovanni Scelzi are running around the outside now. Giovanni Scelzi and Corey Eliason side by side with Kyle Larson stalking both of them. Giovanni gets by the 26. Caution on the speedway car sideways. It is the 83 of James McFadden.
Saw that one, Johnny. It looked like he was all by himself. He was in the 6th position, too, so a tough one there for J-Mac. It looked like he lost it, perhaps something going wrong there. I'm not sure. It was just a quick spin over in turn number 2 by himself.
So the caution flag waves for the first time in tonight's feature with 7 laps complete.
World of Outlaws on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by NOS. Human Horsepower, NOS Energy Drink, High Performance Energy. By iRacing, the world's premier motorsport racing simulation. And by Dirt Vision, the greatest shows on dirt, live and on demand.
Pace truck getting ready to pull in on the back straightaway. Spencer Baston, once again, he'll choose the inside. Dominic Scelzi on the outside. And as Johnny said, Spencer gets to go first. Last time, Dominic did a real good job, though, of staying right there even with him on that restart.
Let's see if he varies his point of acceleration to try to keep Dominic guessing. Again, Dominic's right there with him, side by side, and Dominic Scelzi briefly leading at the start-finish line. Baston right back to the inside. They're wheel-to-wheel for the lead, and Dominic Scelzi's got it.
Man, they might burn this place down if Dominic Scelzi wins this race tonight. He's out in front, race fans.
Dominic Scelzi, your new race leader on lap number 10. Spencer Baston right there with him into turn number 1.
10 laps complete. It's Dominic followed by Spencer Baston, then Kyle Larson running 3rd, Gio Scelzi 4th, Eliason 5th, Brad Sweet 6th, and now here comes David Gravel. He's back up into the mix in 7th.
David Gravel working forward. Now Baston to the inside, reclaims the lead. Spencer Baston with a move down the inside into turn number 1 to take the top spot back from Dominic Scelzi.
And Kyle Larson grabbing a hold of that good stuff off of turn number 2. He's going to make it a 3-car deal.
Upside down over in turn number 2. Red flag conditions. Donnie Schatz upside down in turn 2.
Oh, and it ripped the tail tank off of that car.
And I'm not sure if he got into the inside wall or something. You could see the front end just kind of come up in the air. I don't know if it was the car in front of him. A little bit far for the view for us, but we did get a little bit of a look at what started Donnie Schatz upside down, although it was tough to tell exactly the cause. We just saw the front end come up in the air, and then the car dug in and tumbled over.
All right, let's watch this restart and see how it plays out. Baston and Scelzi up there. Scelzi gets the choice to go first if need be. He's snail pacing it. Now jumps on it.
Scelzi leads them down the front stretch. Kyle Larson will look to the inside. Once again, Spencer Baston rails the top, and David Gravel to the extreme inside of the racetrack. Larson with a move for second by Spencer Baston. Trouble on the backstretch, though. Cars sideways and piled up there. Caution flag will wave. Involved the 16 of Colby Copeland, the 83 of James McFadden, and the 57W of Tyler Courtney. Severe damage to the front end of Colby Copeland's number 16A. We can see it there on the screen. Copeland had been running in the 9th position, Courtney in 13th, and McFadden in 18th.
Yeah, it's wild going in on the double file restarts going into turn 1 and 2 here. They're just here, there, and everywhere.
Well, Kyle Larson had gotten a run on Spencer Baston, looked to take the 2nd spot, but again, the caution flag waves. Now, the upcoming restart will be in single file formation at the cone on the front stretch as the Seafoam restart zone moves to the front straightaway. If we have a crash due to contact on a double file restart, we go back to single file restarts until we complete at least one more lap. And yeah, you can see just especially for J-Mac, no place to go there as Tyler Courtney and Colby Copeland were tangled up coming out of turn number 2.
And it looks like Tyler Courtney's going to be done for the night. He's into the infield now in the 57W.
We'll send it downstairs to Chase Rodman.
Well, John, I'm down here in turn 1 right now. I was about to drive the quad out to the work area, but the field was coming by, and you'd think Dominic Scelzi was nervous out front right now. I was sitting here on the quad, and he just started waving to me from the car. So I don't know if that's because we're co-workers. He's just saying hi to his co-worker or what, but he seems to be pretty comfortable up front right now.
I think Dominic Scelzi is trying to do anything he can to keep himself loose in that car and not let the nerves get to him, leading and looking for his first ever World of Outlaws win, but again, still a long way to go in this one. So drivers must maintain their single file running order until they pass to the outside of the orange cone in the Seafoam restart zone on the front stretch.
Dominic jumps on it, and we're green once again.
Spencer Baston rails the cushion in 1 and 2, looking for a run on Scelzi down the back straightaway. Oh, hang on, Sheldon Hodenshield got all kinds of crossed up in 1 and 2 there. Battle for the lead in 3 and 4. Scelzi hangs on, and now Kyle Larson takes second from Spencer Baston.
Larson really strong in the 57 now, coming after your leader, Dominic Scelzi. He gets that high line, then dips down to find that moisture off of turn number 2.
Down to the inside in 3 and 4. Dominic Scelzi leading it. Kyle Larson second. Spencer Baston third. Brad Sweet fourth. David Gravel now all over Sweet, racing for that position down to the inside of the speedway in turns 1 and 2.
Carson Macedo runs in the 6th spot. Corey Eliason is 7th. Then Giovanni Scelzi, Austin McCarl now into the top 10, and then Rico Abreu.
Austin McCarl looking good down on the low side of the speedway. Kyle Larson goes to the cushion in 1 and 2, down to the bottom to exit that turn. He's got a run on your race leader. Kyle Larson looking for the lead in 3 and 4.
He rolls up on him. Dominic can see the 57. Dominic has momentum on the outside, but Larson's right there with him.
Kyle Larson to the top as Scelzi protected the inside lane entering turn 1. Good corner for Dominic Scelzi. Kyle Larson another run. Dominic Scelzi back to the bottom this time in 3 and 4, taking that preferred lower lane away from Kyle Larson. And now Spencer Baston gathering the lead duo back up once again.
Spencer might not have a lot of laps here at this racetrack, but he knows the fast lane as the lead changes. Kyle Larson drag races right by Scelzi.
Kyle Larson takes the top spot away, and Spencer Baston running the high side of the speedway, closing in on Scelzi in the race for second. Kyle Larson leading lap 19.
We'll see what happens now as they enter traffic. Now Baston's going to get underneath Dominic Scelzi for the 2nd spot.
Spencer Baston back to second. Can he keep pace with Kyle Larson at the front of the field? For the first time tonight, traffic will be officially in play in just a moment as Kyle Larson closes in on Tanner Carrick's 83T.
We've moved past lap number 20, 15 laps to go. Spencer Baston trying to track down Kyle Larson as they approach traffic.
Traffic now on the low side of the speedway. Larson goes up high. Spencer Baston works the bottom, trying to keep pace with the 57. Kyle Larson to the outside of Tanner Carrick to put the 83T a lap down. Spencer Baston trying to keep pace on top. Kyle Larson opening it up just a little bit, but heavy traffic in front of the leader.
Lap number 22 goes in the book. Kyle Larson has a slower car running on his same line. Now he has to switch lanes and go to the top in 3 and 4. Baston follows him.
Kyle Larson and Spencer Baston both up top. Larson still unable to get by Tanner Carrick, who got back by the 57 down low. Heavy traffic, the leader mired in down the back straightaway, makes the move to the inside of Tanner Carrick. Noah Gas right in front of him. Spencer Baston goes up top. He's got that lane to himself as he tries to catch up with Young Money.
Spencer Baston knows that most of the races at Thunderbowl are won by the guy who's riding the rim, and right now that's what he's doing as he goes in hot pursuit of Kyle Larson.
This time by 10 laps to go. Kyle Larson leading it. Spencer Baston in second. Side by side for third now. The big cat Brad Sweet's got it from Dominic Scelzi.
25 laps in the book. Kyle Larson with 1 lap car between himself and Spencer Baston. Brad Sweet now third, Scelzi fourth, and David Gravel in the top 5.
Brad Sweet now trying to reel in Spencer Baston and race leader Kyle Larson. Trouble right in front of the leaders. Car spinning down to the inside of the racetrack.
Thorson?
Yeah. It is Tanner Thorson in the 19 AZ. So 9 laps remaining, which means all restarts from this point forward are single file formation. With 10 laps or less remaining, we go with all single file restarts.
Pace truck pulls off. getting ready to restart. Larson goes way up top and then dives down low on the restart and gets a great restart. Big gap between himself and Baston.
Kyle Larson to the top in 1 and 2. Baston works well on the bottom of the speedway, erases part of that deficit. Brad Sweet now to the inside in 3 and 4, looking to steal the second spot away from the CJB Motorsports number 5. As they do battle, Kyle Larson pulls away.
Larson, Baston, and Sweet, your top 3. Gravel 4th, Dominic Scelzi 5th. Carson Macedo trying to come after Corey Eliason. There's Rico Abreu going side by side with Macedo.
Brad Sweet second now from Spencer Baston. Does he have enough time? 7 laps to go as they cross the start-finish line. Can Brad Sweet reel in Kyle Larson at the front of the field?
Amazing to watch Larson pivot that race car coming off of turn number 2 each time he does it. It's amazing.
Baston comes back at Brad Sweet. That's exactly what Kyle Larson wants to see, because that allows him to open things up just a bit. As I say that, Brad Sweet pulls away from Baston slightly down the back straightaway.
Good stuff up there in the top 5, but Larson really starting to pull away now from Sweet, then Baston, then Gravel Eliason.
We may see traffic in the final lap or 2 at this pace, barring the waving of another caution flag. Noah Gass pulls into the infield. David Gravel coming after Spencer Baston for the 3rd spot now as they race into turn 1.
To the inside goes Gravel. They may have touched there on the entry to turn number 1. Gravel picks up the position. He's into 3rd. 31 laps down, coming to complete lap 32.
3 laps remaining for Kyle Larson, who started the day in Phoenix in his NASCAR Cup car, has now returned to the Thunderbowl Raceway and is slightly over 2 laps away from his first World of Outlaws win of 2022. 2 to go and traffic in front of him into turn 1.
Just a little bit of traffic for Larson.
Oh.
He catches a piece of the ledge over there in turn number 1, but was able to keep the car stable.
Not enough of a bobble for Brad Sweet to capitalize. White flag will wave this time for Young Money.
Coming up on some lap car, trying to put some cars down a lap on this final circuit.
Down the back straightaway for the final time. Kyle Larson to the outside in 3 and 4. Slower traffic below him, but Kyle Larson wins the finale at Thunderbowl Raceway. Brad Sweet finishes 2nd. David Gravel 3rd. Spencer Baston in 4th. And Rico Abreu at the line into the top 5.
World of Outlaws on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Case Construction Equipment. Dirt work done right. By Hoosier Racing Tire. Tires designed for champions. And by VP Racing Fuels. Making power.
Kyle, I know how important this one is. You told me earlier that, 2013 Trophy Cup. I remember in the interview, I've watched the video 100 times. That could be my last time here at Tulare. And now almost 10 years later, you come back and are standing right back here in Victory Lane. How cool is that?
Yeah, it's awesome. Central California fans are some of the best, between here and Hanford and everywhere else. So I always love getting to race in front of you guys. Yeah, I know it's been a long time, but always a pleasure. It's my favorite racetrack, and it was technical, old school from what I remember here. So had a blast. Huge thank you and congratulations to Kevin Guzlowski. He's the car owner on here. I know everybody probably thinks this is Paul Silva's car, but it's Kevin, and this is his first Outlaw win. So proud to put him in victory lane. Huge thank you to Jason Finley and Finney Farms for flying me back and forth. All of our partners, Tommy Tarleton. I didn't get to see him this weekend, but this is always fun to get raced in front of him. So there's so many guys: Fulkins Brothers Trucking, Durst, Flo, JVI Group, everybody that helps out. This is amazing. I wish I could come run Trophy Cup later this year, but other obligations.
Kyle Larson wins tonight, night number 2 at Tulare. And second, Brad Sweet here in second. I know obviously want to be one step over here, but 2013 Trophy Cup, I'm sure it's still on your mind to this day where you're thinking, man, I kind of owe this guy one here.
Yeah, if I could have caught him, I would have stuffed him out of the fence. But no, I'm just kidding. It was a good race. We both got a lot of laps here, and it was fun to be back. It's been a few years, so it's always fun to race Kyle. He makes everybody, elevates us all to another level, and the things he's able to do in a race car and things he can see, and how slow it's happening is kind of amazing when he talks about it. I was just trying hard to search around on the racetrack to find something. I thought we could pace him, but he just had a little bit of a gap. kind of wish I would have stayed on the bottom of 3 and 4. I think I would have kept my tires cooler, and I was getting down the front straightaway a little better. But I just was scared that the top was going to get rolling there. It was pretty fast up there too. So, you know, all in all, good weekend for us. A 5th and a 2nd. Seemed like we got, you know, better every time we got on the racetrack with our Napa Auto Parts cars. So, got some momentum on our side, and hopefully we can keep it rolling.
Nice job tonight.
Thank you.
Brad Sweet finishes 2nd. We'll jump over here to the 3rd place spot. I'm going to try and get out of the way of the camera here, but David Gravel comes home in 3rd tonight. And David, the start of the race, I was thinking, man, I think this top 10 streak is coming to an end. You know, you got up on the bike, almost flipped over and fell way back, but you end up on the podium. How did you do that?
Yeah, man, I was kind of running aggressive, didn't know really where I needed to be, and I started trying to do the diamond move, and everybody's just throwing in on you in the bottom and trying to make up time, and I wheelied and climbed Jacob Allen's right rear, and yeah, I almost crashed and hit the infield wall on the last lap on the bottom, but just kind of got patient on the bottom and passed a lot of guys there in a short amount of time, and put us in good position there to get to 6th, and then kind of picked them off slowly from there. And it seemed like Kyle was running a really good pace up there, and Brad was running a fairly good pace too. There were certain times I passed Brad and the caution came out, but we'll take a 3rd after that, man. That was an up and down race, and 2nd and 3rd's good here. We want to win, but if we keep rolling like this, wins will come.
Thank you, Chase Rodman. Here's the full field rundown. Kyle Larson, the winner in the 57. 2nd, the 49 of Brad Sweet. 3rd to car number 2, David Gravel. In 4th, it was the 5 of Spencer Baston. Finishing 5th, car number 24, Rico Abreu. 6th was the 26 of Corey Eliason. Finishing 7th, the 41 S of Dominic Scelzi. In 8th, the 41 of Carson Macedo. 9th, car number 18, Giovanni Scelzi. Finishing 10th and getting tonight's KSE Hard Charger Award, the number 17 of Sheldon Hodenshield.
The ultimate jet setter, 4 flights between Arizona and California over 2 days. Nets Kyle Larson his 25th series win. Just another shining example of what makes the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series so spectacular. For John Gibson, Chase Rodman, and our entire team, I'm Dave Reef, and the greatest show on dirt has been a presentation of CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Until next time.